Welcome to Net Automate. This is the first lab that we will have in this course. We won't be doing any actual lab exercises in this video, but we will set up our lab environment. Now, most of our hands-on work will be with Python and Visual Studio Code, so let's go ahead and get those. Python is the main programming language that is used for the DevNet Associate exam. To download it, please follow these steps. So I'll open up my browser. In my case, that's Google Chrome. And I'll search for download Python. Click on this link here, which is python.org. And you should see the best Python version based on your operating system. For me, I'm running Mac OS, so I'm seeing download Python for Mac OS. Now, if you have a different OS, you can just select it from here. Once you click on this, Python will download, and then you'll be guided through the installation. The installation is very straightforward, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. I'm not gonna download it because I have it already downloaded. But if you want to check and make sure that it's downloaded properly, usually what I do is I just open up a command prompt. I'm gonna clear this window just to show you. And then I'm gonna type Python -- version. Now, if you see this output, let me just make it larger. If you see something like this, Python 3, then the version number, then that means Python is installed properly. Now, in some versions of Python, you have to use Python 3 -- version instead of just Python. Just use Python 3 instead of Python. It really depends on what you have installed. If either of these commands gives you an output, then you're good. That means that Python is installed. Okay, so that's Python. Now, next up, we should download Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short, is a lightweight but powerful code editor. Over the years, I've used many different code editors and many different programming environments. VS Code is by far my favorite. So let's go ahead and download that. To download it, please follow these steps. So again, I'm going to open up my browser. I'm going to go download VS Code. And then you should see code.visualstudio.com. Click on that. And then just choose the appropriate version based on the operating system you're running. So if you're running Windows, just click here. I'm running Mac, so I should click here, but I have it already installed. Okay. So once you download that, go ahead and perform the installation. It should, again, be very straightforward. Once you launch Visual Studio Code, you should see a help screen. You can go ahead and close that. But what I would do is, if you go here, you'll find something called extensions. Go ahead and search for something called the Python extension. Just search for Python. And you should see a Python extension. Click on it and you should see something like install or enable here. Once it's installed, you can go ahead and write your Python code. But just to let you know, these extensions, basically what they do is they help you write better code. So for example, this one here will help you edit your code with auto-completion, code navigation, syntax checking, and a bunch of other features. Honestly, that's the only one we will need right now. There are other good extensions, but for now, let's just use the Python extension. Okay, now let's go ahead and write our first Python file, our Python program. There is an option here to open a folder. You can go ahead and do that. Or what I want to do here is I want to create my own folder. So let's make a new folder. I'll make it on my desktop and just type test_folder. So that's the name of my folder that I just created. Now I'm going to take that, drag and drop that into VS Code here in the middle pane. And that's it. Now I have the folder here, as you can see, test_folder. You could go ahead and click on this icon to create new files. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm just going to call it test.py. py is the file name extension for Python files. So whenever you're writing a Python program, make sure that you end it with .py. Okay, Now let me write a Python program. This is a very simple program that will just display hello world on the screen. And that's it. That's our first Python program. Don't worry too much about the code for now. In our next video, we will discuss Python and start explaining it. Now, to run this Python program, you can just click on this play icon here. So I'm going to click on that, run Python file. And as you can see, the code ran and it's displaying hello world on the screen. So it ran successfully. There's a different way to run Python files, and that's by typing in the terminal window. So this terminal window is pretty much this terminal window, but VS Code gives you a shortcut here, so you can enter any command. For example, I could do ping 8.8.8.8 and it will run. It's like a regular terminal, but it's a shortcut. So again, to run a Python program, I could do Python and then the name of the Python file, which is test.py, test.py. And that's it. I got the same output as when I ran it through this, clicking on this icon. So again, same exact output. Just it depends on your preference. You could either run it directly from the terminal or you could use the shortcut here. I hope you found this useful. If you're having any problems with the installation, please let me know. Add a comment in the comment section and I'll be very happy to help as much as I can. So in this lab, we haven't done any actual exercises, but our lab environment is set up. So in the next video, as I mentioned, we will go over Python and then we will have an actual lab with exercises on Python. Thanks for watching.